Trump said today that he wants this country, his words, opened up by Easter. By Easter, April 12th. And he continues, this ignorant fucker continues to play down the dangers of this pandemic, even as the medical and scientific experts are warning that it's going to get worse before it ever fucking gets better. What is with this bastard? You know, I've been saying for 3 years, why is he president? Why hasn't he been removed? He is going to fuck everything up. And every single time I've said it, not because I'm a genius or have a crystal ball or I'm incredibly prescient. No, because you can tell after 2 minutes of listening to this asshole that he is nothing but monumental trouble and destruction. So I've been saying it for 3 years, just like you have. 3.5 years, over and over again. Why is this son of a bitch president? Well, the gutless fucking Republicans decided to leave him there. You ignorant bastard Jew. You ignorant bastard Jew. The Republican members of Congress and his cabinet. Bunch of suckasses who don't care how many people die. Trump is saying he wants, quote, the country opened by Easter to salvage the U.S. economy. Fuck the virus. Fuck all the warnings from scientists, medical scientists, epidemiologists, people who have forgotten more than Trump knows his entire fucking life. But remember, Trump, remember when he was the CDC down here? Well, I understand all this. I should have gone in the medical field. Oh, fuck you, Trump. Anyway, a debate is now raging among policymakers over the necessity to shut down vast chunks of American society to combat the coronavirus. And some governors and mayors, Mayor of Atlanta has ordered the city shut down. Their curfew in the county that we live in now, curfew, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., I don't know what happens if you break the curfew. Maybe they'll shoot you. I don't know. I'm not going to break it. Why should I? Health experts say that ending these shutdowns would be disastrous because the country has barely given the restrictions that have been put in place by governors and mayors a chance to make a dent in the exponentially rising curve. Remember we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This is not a progression like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's like 2, 4, 16, 32, 64, and that might be minimizing it. It's not an arithmetic, it's a geometric, whatever you want to call it, progression. And the numbers are just, what is it? New York is doubling every 3 days? Jesus Christ. So, ending the shutdown by Easter, another holiday stolen from the pagans by the Christian Nazis. Ending it by Easter doesn't give the restrictions put in place a chance to make a dent on this rising curve of infections and deaths. Because the leaders of this country have not pursued the strategies necessary, the ones used in other countries, to avert the potential deaths of hundreds of thousands. Now, I don't like to talk about this shit. I don't. I wish it would just all magically go away, right? Not the way Trump does. I don't give a fuck about the economy. I really don't. You know, I believe that our economy is a farce and a sham and bullshit, and it's killing us anyway. What I do care about is the physical and mental and emotional health of people. I really do. I've had enough emotional and mental disorders in the lives of my inner circle of people over the course of my lifetime. I know how destructive depression and bipolarism and anxiety, and I know how destructive those emotions, aberrations, whatever you want to call them, how destructive they are. I'd like to see people just be happy. And we will never get to that point living under the capitalist system, the predatory system we live under. It's just impossible. That's why we drink ourselves to death, or do drugs until we die, or have serial marriages until we run out of energy. It's why we beat our children and fight with our spouses. It's why divorces are at 50%. It's why the Christian nutfucks are constantly screaming about repent, repent. It's because people are too goddamn tied up in knots because of the system under which we live to actually live. Tom Inglesby, director of Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, said, quote, "To be a week into these restrictions, which is where we are, and already be talking about abandoning them is irresponsible and dangerous." Well, Tom, we are not talking about it. It's that orange fucking lump of shit in the White House. He's the one talking about it. And for some reason, the people around him won't tie the motherfucker to his high chair if necessary and tell him, shut the fuck up. Shut up! While people handle the situation. But they're not going to do that. The Post says the president's stance has many worried, including in Trump's own party. Oh, yeah, those fucking Republicans? Shit. The greatest alarm has come from scientists who have spent months witnessing the destruction and the contagious swath the coronavirus has cut through other countries. And Trump, with his magical thinking, oh, it's not going to happen here. Everything's going to be fine. It's all going to disappear. It'll be like a miracle. Bill Gates, yeah, him again, who now leads the Global Health Foundation, as you know, the Gates Foundation. He has rebuked, there's a religious term for you, Trump's approach in an interview. Willie the Gates said, quote, "There really is no middle ground, and it's very tough to say to people, hey, keep going to restaurants, go buy new houses, ignore that pile of bodies over in the corner. We want you to keep spending because there's maybe a politician who thinks GDP growth is all that counts," end quote. Yeah, there is one. There's a bunch of them. But the head vampire who thinks that way, Willie the Gates, and you know this, is the fucker in the White House. And as long as he's there, that's the attitude. So, the simplistic debate which pits the health of America's economy, as rotten and out of proportion as it is and destructive, but it's still called the health of the American economy that is polluting the atmosphere, destroying lives, except not right now, because do you realize how much CO2 is not going into the air these past 10 days, 2 weeks? Do you know how much pollution has disappeared? But I digress. The simplistic debate pitting America's economic health against the health of us, the citizens, has also laid bare the pressing need, the absolute need for a long-term national strategy from the federal government, which will never happen with this fucking Trump. It's impossible. This bastard doesn't think like that. He thinks like, gimme, gimme, gimme. Let me take, let me steal, let me lie, let me cheat. Long-term policy from Trump? Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast, or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.